Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a subscriber or somebody who's just watched my videos before. I know it's been a really long time, but this is a topic that I know a lot of people have been wanting to see. I did a video on this topic like a year or so ago, actually more than a year ago, and people have had questions, and I'm just here to answer those questions, or basically just like redo that entire video because yeah, I did not like that video at all. I need to redo that. Today I'm gonna be telling you guys how I learned Korean and became conversational in less than a couple months. Let's go. First of all, a little bit about me. I am 18 years old. I started learning Korean when I was 13 in middle school. I started learning Korean because honestly one of my friends told me to learn it with her, and I was like, okay, bet, because I was learning Japanese at the time, and Japanese proved to be a little bit too hard for me, why I'm relearning it now. But I did decide to learn Korean at that moment, and I'm still learning Korean now. A couple of languages that I'm interested in, obviously Korean, Japanese. There was a time where I did learn Indonesian for a little bit because I was obsessed with Indonesian YouTubers. I picked up a couple of phrases and a couple words, but I never got really anything past that. I took French at school. I would say I'm pretty conversational in French. Bonjour. I'm Somali, so I'm like basically fluent in Somali, and of course every Somali person learns Arabic sometime in their life. I've been learning Arabic since I was 4 years old, and anyone who speaks Arabic, don't get mad at me every time I say Arabic. I have friends that get mad at me every time I say Arabic. Arabi, okay, I get it. But let's get into how to learn Korean. So when I was 13, I literally did not know what to do to learn Korean. But I did find this one YouTube channel. It was my holy grail. Sadly, like half our videos are privated now, but I did used to watch this girl named 𝗥𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏 or Korean Onni, and her videos basically broke down the basic phrases, the alphabet, literally anything, like grammar points, like the most basic of basic grammar points, like how do I do something, or the 5 W's. We broke them down very, very easily. I don't have my beginner notebook because I don't know where it is, but I used to take notes from her videos almost daily. The thing I want to say is, when you're learning Korean or when you're learning any language in general, you have to, and I'm like emphasizing this, like I'm gonna smack you if you don't do this. You have to practice every single day, and not for like 5 minutes, because that's not it. You have to practice for a good 30 to 1 hour a day. Like a notebook, get flashcards, get like literally anything that will help you remember, and study that for at least 30 minutes to an hour a day. So that's what I used to do with 𝗥𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏. I used to watch her videos, and eventually when I got to a point where her videos were kind of getting a little bit too easy for me, or like I already knew the pattern of what she was teaching and I already got her teaching style, I knew I had to move on. And here comes my next resource, guys, tune in. The next thing I moved on to was Talk to Me in Korean, and I'm telling you, I literally stayed on Talk to Me in Korean for months after this because they have so many resources and so many levels. But the first thing I did when I got on Talk to Me in Korean is I took their level test. If you go on Google, search up Talk to Me in Korean level test, it's like the first thing that pops up. I took their level test and I landed on level 3. So from the beginning, learning the alphabet, watching 𝗥𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏's videos got me to level 3 in Talk to Me in Korean. The format of Talk to Me in Korean, I don't know how it is right now because I haven't been on it in a fat minute, but Talk to Me in Korean has a podcast, and then under it is the transcription of the podcast and like examples of everything that they're talking about. So basically copy their format word for word, and then at the end write extra sentences. like just for me to practice and basically not just copy what they're doing, just like actually push myself to make sentences for myself, because if you don't do that, you are just copying. You're not actually pushing yourself to learn. And I have some examples from my notebook. This is the notebook I used to use. As you can see, it's like almost, it's like completely full. I insert a picture here of what I used to do, but like this is an example. I would write the subject, tell you slash /거든. First I would write the usages of /거든 or 거든요 to express a reason or some background explanation for something. Then I'd write an example sentence. 저도 모르겠어요. 저 방금 왔거든요. I don't know either. I just got here. Then I'd write, on Talk to Me Korean, they have an explanation, and I'd write the explanation word for word. And then I'd write another example. 저 방금 와서 저도 모르겠어요. Because I just got here, I don't know. I'd write another example sentence. I'd write multiple example sentences. And then at the very end, a bunch of sample sentences. Just to like get into it. The next resource. You guys have to start watching other people who learn Korean. Like, you can't do this by yourself. I know you think you can do this by yourself. You can't do this by yourself. Get on YouTube. Start watching them YouTubers. Recently, I used to binge watch Natalia. I don't know her last name, but I will put her picture right there. I used to watch her like all the time because she has so many resources, so many everything. Another person I used to watch was, I think his name was 𝗥𝗚𝗘𝗏. His videos were pretty funny. I actually really liked it. But then when I was getting more serious, or like right now, because I really love listening to podcasts in general, I watched 𝗢𝗪𝗡𝗘𝗥 podcast. Didi's Korean culture podcast, and she's literally, I just love listening to her talk, and it's just like so easy, so fun, and it's kind of her, it's just like her podcast style that makes everything so fun, and you learn so much about Korean culture, and it's just like, it's just amazing. A couple of misconceptions about Korean. You are only gonna learn if you try to learn. Like, if you give up halfway through, it's gonna be hard. We know this. Another thing is 받침 will get you. When you learn Hangul, you have to learn Hangul thoroughly to actually start reading. Like, just because you know the letters does not mean you know how they work together. So I would say spend a lot of time with Hangul. People say, oh, Hangul only takes you like a week. No, 받침 will grab you by your throat. And yeah, you're just gonna have a hard time. You're not gonna like, any words that are stacked, you're not gonna learn, you're not gonna know how to say them. Another misconception, if you learn Korean, you're a Koreaboo. Don't let anyone tell you this. You're only a Koreaboo if you act like a Koreaboo. If you're learning Korean to go talk with one of your favorite K-pop idols, or if you're learning Korean to just be like a freaking weirdo, then you're a Korean boo. But if you're learning Korean to actually like embrace the culture and just like learn another language, you're good. Like, don't let anybody say you're a Koreaboo. You know, honestly, just smack them in the face. Like, not to promote violence, but like, jump them. Like, what are they gonna do? Lastly, the last misconception, like, honestly, you don't need to go to Korea or be in a Korean society to learn Korean. You can learn Korean just fine in your little apartment, your little house, in whatever country you're in. Like, honestly, you don't need to do all that. That's what I learned. You don't really need to do all that to learn a language. You can honestly just learn a language from the comfort of your home. It's actually so easy. Lastly, the last thing I'm going to talk about, every video that you might come across will tell you to use multiple resources. The only resources I've used are the two resources that I told you in this video, 한국언니 and Talk to Me Korean. I also sometimes use howtostudykorean.com, but their stuff is kind of confusing, so I only used it when I thought I got more advanced and then they had like phrases or verb stems, just grammar points that were like kind of harder that Talk to Me Korean wouldn't have. I would go on them and go look at their stuff, but I usually don't use that. But anyone who tells you need to buy books, you know, just tell them to get away from you. We're not rich, we're not buying books. I did buy at one point like a little phrase book from Barnes and Nobles, It's good for looking up words. It literally has every single word I could ever think of in here. But like, you can't actually study with this. Buy a notebook. Get your glittery pens, get your pencils, get your post-it notes. I used to get on Quizlet. Quizlet is now Moolah, so get on Know It. Just like constantly be practicing. Watch them K-dramas. I'm telling you, them K-dramas actually work. Like, you will learn Korean from them K-dramas. Most of all, get somebody who's Korean to talk to you. Like, I'm being so legit. Get someone who's Korean to talk to you, because I love K-dramas a little bit. Obviously they're scripted. You're not gonna get the full experience. And if you want to learn texting slang, if you want to learn like the most Gen Z of slang to say in your daily, like, day-to-day life, you need to get a Korean friend, or else you just won't know. I think I talked enough. If you have any questions, or if you want me to explain anything anymore, drop a comment down below. And yeah, learning Korean is easy. I'm gonna say it. Learning Korean is easy. Don't let anyone tell you anything else.